Cool. Welcome to another Rover slash um this is a Rover review slash trip recap. I just came back from a trip from one of the parks here in Missouri, which was St. Joe's State Park. Um, and this is my experience on what I went through on the Rad Rover, with all of my gear on it, all of my camping supplies, food, whatnot. Good morning. So, first things first. Um, there's a lot. This onion is huge. There's a lot. There's a few parts of this onion that I just need to just peel back the layers on of 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 where do I start. So first thing, any of the any criticisms that I have comes from two places. Lack of experience. This is my first backpacking trip, and not really knowing what to expect. And you know, pretty much that's it. Everything is coming from a lack of knowledge. So the first issue that I came across, when I'm out early in the season, the trail is super muddy. I'm sinking, I'm sliding, I'm getting stuck. And this was like the first quarter mile and that first quarter mile, it starts off, man. It just baited and switched me really quick. It starts off with loose rock, like gravel type thing, and it was great on that. And then all of a sudden, the gravel ends and the mud begins, and that went on for less than a quarter of a mile. But that's a lot of work. The bike weighs 70 pounds by itself. And then you throw another 30 pounds on there. And I'm not a small guy. I'm over 200 pounds myself. So that's, you're knocking 325 or so, somewhere in that area, right? Of weight on two tires, two, what I'm saying, two pressure points, and it's just sinking and sliding. And that was the first part. But I was kind of prepared for that from the snow video, so I was prepared for it to slide a little bit and for it to kind of get stuck. It was just really labor intensive for the first, it was an hour. It took me an hour to make it nowhere. Let me tell you. I almost thought about giving up. I stuck with it. Moving on from that, um, there was some downhill portions where I had to take it a little easy and I had to be cautious with it. And it's one of those things where inexperience kicks in, and a question as well, as far as for you guys that do, if anyone is out there that really mountain bike slide and they do like downhill, and you guys are really on the trail trying to get performance out of it. I don't know why you would watch a fat bike video, but maybe you do a little bit of both. But um, forget that it's a fat bike for a second, and let's just talk about suspension forks. The suspension fork that comes on the Rad Rover is fairly decent, uh, and do it can do a little. It did what I needed to do, but it seemed like it was a little springy, and I'm not sure if that was because of how much weight. The majority of the weight, is in the back of the bike. So you got your hub motor, and I got my panniers that have food, more water, and all the rest of my supplies in there. So when I was going uphill, there were times. Well, it didn't really matter. Even when I was kind of going downhill as well, it seemed like at a certain speed, um, if I hit one of those like a bigger rock, because there were some bigger rocks out there that I just couldn't avoid, going downhill or just trying to make it up because you're trying to kind of swerve side to side so you can climb these inclines a little better. But I'm hitting these rocks, and I swear, man, it's the wheels were the front wheel was like trying to come off the ground. It got a little sketch a couple times in there for me. The second thing that the second thing that I had to get used to, and I've been riding fully loaded for a while, so I kind of knew some limitations of it. But it is hard. Well, it's not hard. It is impossible to bunny hop the bike. It's impossible. It is for me. Somebody with Herculean strength can probably get this bike to pop up. I can get it once if I get like a ramp or something. I can get it to hold a little air, but as far as getting it to hop over stuff, and it was it, so there's all sorts of stuff on the trails. I avoided what I could, but there's some things I just trucked right through it because it just didn't make sense to go around. I just made those fat tires work. So the front fork, the heavy weight in the back, all made this a little challenging. But it overall, man, it was fun. I will say, if you were looking for the Red Rover, I have the 2018 edition. If you didn't get that from the title, but um, it performed as expected. I mean, it was heavy as get out, so it was like rolling a tank. And when it wanted to go, it went. And there was nothing I really could do about that. And, so when it wanted to tilt over, I had to let it go. I mean, at times I caught what I could, but there was times when it just needed to go. You slinging 100 pounds around. You're pushing 100 pounds uphill because even though you have motors in the back, uh, you're just not gonna make it up every incline. You're just not gonna do it. The motor is a 750-watt motor. Um, if it was me and water, I could have taken a lot of those inclines, but um, with the extra, 30, 40 pounds and myself, I couldn't really get the leverage on it, and this it was frankly just really stressing things out that didn't need to be stressed out. Mud was in everything, so it was actually I had so much mud caked in places, it threw my derailleur off. So I couldn't use my gears. I couldn't use my two lowest gears because it would just overshoot on the last two rails. So that was difficult. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect it. So that made it tough. So I couldn't drop below third gear. Going down some of these steeper parts with this extra weight, I I, I know that I want to invest in hydraulic brakes. I know that I want to put a new front fork on there. I know I want to invest in some hydraulic brakes. These are things that I know I want to put on this bike. Everything else, so what was great, I've kind of been thinking about upgrading the handlebars, but the handlebars weren't an issue on this particular thing, and it was great. My issues came down to a lot of mud, chain maintenance when you get to the trailhead or your campsite or whatever, and it's a lot of minor it's a lot of minor things. Long story short, it performed great on the trail. I am not sure if it would have been better on a lighter bike. If it was just a regular fat bike or a mountain bike, would this have been better? I don't know. 40-pound difference is a 40-pound difference. The bike is a little heavy and it moves as such. At times, when the mud was too thick, you have to get away from your power assist and all that because your wheels just spin out, and the back is so heavy. When it wants to go, it's gonna go because it has a lot of momentum back there once it starts moving. Um, that's my experience. Be on the lookout for the video that will be coming out shortly. I am trying. It's running a little long right now, so I'm trying to dial it in so I don't lose anyone. But it's going to be a longer video. It's the trail ride in. There's some exciting parts there, and there's also the second part of it, which is in the middle, I should say, which would be the actual camping, my actual camping experience. And it's going to be really interesting. I hope to see you guys in a little bit. Um, be on the lookout. Make sure that you are a subscriber, or please consider subscribing. I'm trying to put out, the best content, and what you guys tell me down in the comments section below is what helps me make better videos for you guys. So if we could start some conversation about the forks, the brakes, any upgrades that you guys have done, not just on a Red Rover or a e-bike or e-bikes in general, because this is we're talking about e-bikes, but just trail riding. I want to talk to me about your forks. Do you use the regular spring? Do you use air? Do you use what do you do for your chain maintenance? Do you keep like a chain cleaner kit in there, or do you just wipe it down at the end when you make it to camp or whatever you do? Give me your tips and tricks, because now I've made it to as far as my experience can take me, and now I need to hear from the people that have more experience beyond where I'm at right now to take me to the next level. I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember, live life one trail at a time.